Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today what we're going to be doing is a New Year's Eve makeup tutorial, and this is super dramatic, super highlighted, super smoky. It's just like the works. I hope everyone had a great Christmas or whatever holiday you guys celebrate, and I wanted to come back with a makeup tutorial because my last video wasn't a makeup tutorial and it felt so weird not uploading one. So I thought New Year's Eve is coming up so soon, and I think we all need a super dramatic look for New Year's Eve. I do have tons of other tutorials if you guys want a toned down version or a toned down look. I have tons of other tutorials if you guys want to check those out. So first of all, I just want to say I got a new computer. So by the time you guys see this video, I'm going to be editing with a new software. So just like give me a little bit of a break for a little bit while I figure out the new like tech stuff. I bought a Mac finally. I was using just like a laptop before, but like now I have a Mac, so editing will be so much better. I'm also wearing one of the Kylie liquid lips on my lips. It is Candy K, and I will try to find as many dupes as I possibly can, like either high-end, drugstore. I'm gonna like go on a search because I know that they're not available right now and I don't know when they're gonna be able to come back in stock. So I will find some dupes for you guys if you guys want like a similar lip color to this. So before I ramble on too much longer, don't forget to subscribe. I will link the button down there. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you guys want more makeup tutorials, and don't forget to leave any requests you guys have for me down below so I know what to film next. And other than that, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the new year. Mwah. So let's just jump right into this tutorial, and I'm using the Tartlette in Bloom palette. This is the newest Tarte palette that just came out, and I'm taking Sweetheart, and I'm taking that on a MAC 224 brush, and this is going to be our transition shade. This is warm, but it's like a warmish pink, so it's a little bit different than what we normally do. I thought I would change it up for New Year's and make this a little bit more glam and different than just doing neutral tones. So now we're going to be taking Rebel, and this is also in the Tarte palette, and I love this palette. I just think that it is absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. All the shades blend together so nicely and seamlessly, and they're all super pigmented, and the fallout isn't that much, which is great. So I'm just taking this on a 217 and blending this in the outer corner, and then dragging it all the way through to the inner corner. So as you see on the other eye, we got really light in the inner corner and super dark and smoky in the outer corner because this is a New Year's Eve tutorial. I wanted it to be super dramatic and super smoky. I feel like I say that in every video, but I mean, this time we really need it to be dramatic because, I mean, it's New Year's. Come on. So now we're just taking the 224 again and blending out those edges just so there is no harsh lines. So now we're taking Makeupgeek's Americano, and this is one of their new matte shades that just came out recently, I mean the last couple months, and I'm taking it on a pencil brush, and I'm focusing this in the outer corner. So I'm just building up the color in the outer corner, kind of just taking it from lightest to darkest, just so then the blend is super, super seamless. So I just kind of go up like a step each time. So I start with the lightest color, then a medium shade, darker shade, and then the darkest. It just helps with blending later on. So now I'm just taking this all the way through to the inner corner. See, as we kind of made it like a cut crease, which I really like. So we're kind of just keeping that the same and applying it all the way to the inner corner. So now what we're going to be doing is taking Makeupgeek's Corrupt, and I really wanted a super black. They have a dark brown in the Tarte palette, but nothing black, so I thought, why not just use Corrupt? Because, I mean, it is probably the blackest black I've ever used. And I'm using that on a Sigma E21 brush. And what I'm doing in my outer corner is kind of just creating that V and dragging this all the way up. So it's kind of creating a little bit of a cut crease, but we're going to blend it out right now with the 217 and a little bit of that Rebel shade. So I keep going back and forth, just kind of building the pigmentation as we go. I mean, you're not going to do it all in one swipe because when you blend, it seems to kind of disperse the color, so it's not going to be as saturated. So I just kind of go back in several times, blend it, add more color. You can add it as much as you want or as little as you want. It's all about preference, but I want mine to be super dark. So now we're going to be taking this Makeupforever shadow in I514, and I'm just taking that from the neutral palette. I mean, they sell these shadows separately, and I'm just kind of applying a base down, a white base, and I'm just kind of taking this on that Urban Decay brush that I love, and I'm just kind of cutting that crease. As you guys see, I want it to be super sharp and super defined, and then I'm going to blend it more towards the back. And I just use this as a base because I thought I was going to love this shadow on its own, but I just thought it wasn't glitzy enough, it wasn't glam enough, and it wasn't like reflecting as much light as I wanted to. So I'm just kind of putting this down first, like I said, as a base, and then we're going to go over top of it with another shadow. So then I just take the pencil brush and I like to just blend where the two colors meet, where the black meets the white. And that just gives you that like nice, seamless, no harsh blend. So now what we're going to be doing is taking Makeupgeek's In the Spotlight, and this is a foiled eyeshadow, and this is where the glam is going to come in. I absolutely love this shadow. It is super metallic, it is super shimmery, and it was that like extra pop that this look needed for it to be a New Year's tutorial. So I'm just going over top, and as you guys see, it's just kind of making it super bright, super in your face, glowy. And that's exactly what I wanted for this tutorial. So now I'm just kind of packing it over and over, just cutting that crease as sharp as I can get it, because you need a sharp cut crease for New Year's. So now we're taking Eylure Lashes in the style number 202, and these are my favorite drugstore lashes. Guys, literally $7, and I could use these probably as much as I use my velour ones. So I'm just taking Duo Lash Glue and applying that on the back of them, waiting like 45 seconds. The longer you wait, the tackier it gets, the better. And then I'm just going to be applying some Benefit Roller Lash Mascara, just what I had on hand. It's definitely not my favorite for upper lashes and applying before, but it's what I had on hand, so I was just like, okay, whatever, let's just use this. And now we're just going to be taking the lashes and applying them first with my finger. And then as you guys see, I'll take my tweezers just to kind of help me get it as close to the lash line as possible. That's something that you guys have been asking me a lot on Instagram, how I get my lashes as close as I can to my lash line. This is exactly how I do it. Apply it with my fingers and then take my tweezers and pinch it with my regular lashes. And voila, they're as close as possible to your natural lash line. So now I'm going to be taking the Becca Evermatte Poreless Perfecting Primer and the Smoothing Primer from Makeupforever, and we're going to be applying them mixed together because I needed the smoothing one to fill in my pores and the mattifying one to control my oil. And I just focus the mattifying one on my cheeks, my nose, and my forehead, just really where I get super oily. And now we're going to be taking a mixture of the NARS Sheer Matte Foundation and the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Foundation, and we're mixing them together on the back of my hand, creating a little foundation cocktail, and then applying that on my cheeks. I love this foundation like cocktail. I feel like I used it a while ago and then I just kind of stopped, but the reason I like to apply my foundation a little bit more on the yellow side is because I have a lot of redness in my skin. So here, that is a little like tip for you guys. If you guys have like a lot of redness, yellow counteracts red. So you can just apply a little bit more of a yellow foundation and then your redness will not be seen. That's why I absolutely love a little bit of a yellow base foundation because it really cancels out my redness without having to have like super heavy coverage and like cakey and gross and ugh, I don't like it. So I'm just taking my beauty blender. This one is the purple one. You probably couldn't tell because it is so dirty. I have got to get on top of cleaning it, but I'm just kind of pouncing this all over my face to blend in the foundation because they both are super matte shades and I wanted to add a little bit of moisture so it wasn't cakey. And now we're going to be applying the BareMinerals Bareskin Under Eye Concealer. It's the Serum Concealer. And I'm just going to be applying this normally how we highlight, a generous amount under my eyes and in between my brows, down the bridge of my nose, and on my chin. You want to make sure you even out the highlight because if you don't, it's just going to look stark white underneath your eyes. And I'm just taking the beauty blender that we used to blend the foundation in, and we're going to be blending in this concealer. I just feel like blending it in with the same sponge that you did with the foundation. If there's a little bit of foundation left on the sponge, it will just help blend the concealer into it so much better, and then there will be no harsh line. It'll just be seamless. So my other tip for under eyes is look up when you blend, and it'll kind of stretch out those lines. So when you blend, it can just kind of be super smooth, and you're not blending where the creases are. Because I know I have a lot of creases, and I'm only 22 years old, so save me, please. All right, so now we're just going to be taking a little bit of translucent powder on this e.l.f. brush, and I love this e.l.f. blush brush for just setting my under eye because I feel like it is tapered and it is perfect and it fits perfectly underneath my eye, so I'm just kind of setting it first so our concealer does not crease, and then we will set the rest of our face with the same translucent powder from Maybelline. Like I said before, this is my favorite translucent powder. My sister actually just got one from It Cosmetics, and it is literally stark white, so Make sure to steer clear from the stark white ones or you will have foundation flashbacks or even like a white film over your skin. So now, this is a little bit different for me. We're going to be taking the NYX Contour Kit, which I'm so excited. This is my first time trying it and I love it. I got it for Christmas and I'm going to be using the darkest shade and this other cool tone shade. I don't know if there's numbers on them. If there are, we'll leave them down below which ones I used. And I just thought instead of using Anastasia, because I use it every single time, we would try something different. And I love this contour kit. Super blendable. NYX didn't let me down. Super blendable. The colors are, some are gray tone and some are a little bit on the bronzy side, which I love because I like to bronze up my skin also while I'm contouring because I am so pale. So I'm just taking this on a big fluffy brush to kind of blend our contour out and just bronze up the skin a little bit, bronzing up the hairline and underneath my cheekbones because I love myself with a prominent cheekbone. And then what we're going to be doing is carving out our contour after we contour and snatch this nose. But I'm just lightly contouring and I'm not going in depth. So now we're just going to take some translucent powder and cut the contour. Like I said all the time, I feel like this just cleans up the look. It makes everything look seamless and it kind of masks my redness a little bit. And I like it and it just keeps my makeup on longer. And then we're going to be taking the blush Breezy by MAC. And this is just like a warm pinky cranberry shade, which is super different, but I thought we're still in wintertime, so let's keep it a little bit more tailored to the season, you feel me? Not going in with a super orangey springtime blush. So I'm just taking this on an angled brush and I'm blending this out. I don't want a super harsh look today though. And then we're taking Champagne Pop and Moonstone. And first I'm laying down Champagne Pop because that's more of like a champagne gold, and then we're going to be taking Moonstone on the highest point of my cheeks. So I really wanted to be super glowy for this New Year's Eve tutorial. I just feel like on New Year's Eve, I'm going to be so glowy, and why not just tailor that to this tutorial? So I love highlighters, and especially Becca's, because they don't have like big things of glitter in them. It's just like a sheen and it looks the most natural. So now we're just taking that Moonstone and applying it right at the top of the cheekbone. That's really going to give us the dimension that we want because it is such a light highlight. And, it's gorgeous. And I have not tried Pearl, but I'm going to get my hands on it soon. And now we're just dusting away that translucent powder. And then we'll be starting our under eye. So now we're just taking all the shades that we used in our upper portion of our eye. So first I'm starting at the lash line and the E21 and we're using Corrupt. I want the darkest to be at the lash line and then we're going to blend it out so it's super smoky. So then I'm going to be taking that pencil brush and we're going to be blending out the Corrupt shade with the Sweetheart shade. It's just going to kind of make it super easy to make it so smoky under there because we're going to be using a lighter color. And like Jaclyn Hill said in one of her videos, it is super hard to blend out your lower lash line without using a lighter eyeshadow. You can't just like blend out black. Like black would just keep going. So I just took a lighter shade and blended that out. So now we're going to be taking the Kylie lip kit and this one is in Candy K. And like I said in my intro that I will find duplicates high-end and drugstore because I know that these aren't available right now and these are gorgeous and I really don't use a lip liner but I like this better using a lip liner. So I've tried this before with just the liquid lipstick and I don't know, I just feel like the lip liner did something for me and I usually don't like lip liners. This formula for lip liner reminds me a lot of the MAC except like a step up from that. So I'm not a big fan of the MAC ones because they are so hard to work with, but this one is definitely a lot more creamier and pigmented. And now we're just going to be carving out our lips with this liquid lipstick. And I love the doe foot applicator that this comes with because it is so maneuverable. I can really drag it around my lips and it'll follow my natural lip line, which is everything. Especially because I like to overline my lips. I don't want it to be like super uneven or super hard to like get such a precise line because then it's so obvious. So now we're just kind of taking it on the lower part and we're going to be overdrawing our lips just a little bit, nothing too crazy, but just to give me like a little bit of a pout. And that is all that I have for this tutorial, guys. I hope you guys have a fun and safe new year and happy holidays. And I love you guys and I will see you all in my next one. Mwah. And the last two in my Sephora bag. Ugh, that was kind of a small Sephora bag.